It's 10 a.m. and you are watching NDTV 24/7. I am Parmeshwar Bawa. Our big focus, Karnataka's Game of Thrones. Amid mounting speculation about a possible leadership change in Karnataka, high-stakes power play, scenes seem to be unfolding in the state, but there seems to be no end to the dissent as far as the Congress is concerned. An MLA has now openly supported DK Shivakumar for the position of Chief Minister. Iqbal Hussain has gone on to claim that 100 MLAs are demanding change. This as it's day 2 of the AICC General Secretary Randeep Surjewala's stay in Bengaluru, which will see more meetings with MLAs. A total of about 40 MLAs are expected to meet Mr. Surjewala, but just ahead of his meetings today, a fresh statement by another Congress MLA, as I just mentioned, which further highlights internal dissent and the power struggle within the Karnataka Congress. MLA Iqbal Hussain has now said that at least 100 MLAs are supporting Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivakumar.
ನಾನೊಬ್ಬನೇ ಅಲ್ಲ ರೀ, ನಾನೊಬ್ಬನೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನ MLAಗಳು, ಸುಮಾರು 100ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು MLAಗಳೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನಿರೀಕ್ಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನೊಬ್ಬನೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಶಾಸಕರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಆಡಳಿತ ಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೊಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಅವರು ಶ್ರಮ ಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪಕ್ಷ ಸಂಘಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆವತ್ತು ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ KPCC ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಪಕ್ಷ ಇವತ್ತು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪಕ್ಷ ಸಂಘಟನೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬಲವಾಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಎತ್ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಳೆದಿದೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣಕರ್ತರು ಯಾರು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಮನವರಿಕೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಧ್ವನಿಗೂಡಿಸಿ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ.
ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದಂಥದ್ದು ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಂತ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಸಾಹೇಬರವರು 14ನೇ ಹಣಕಾಸಿನ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಇವ್ರನ್ನೂ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಪತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಮುಂದೆ 5 ವರ್ಷ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಸಾಹೇಬರವರೇ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ.
ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಹೆಂಗ್ ನುಡಿತಾನೆ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಈ ಸರ್ಕಾರ 5 ವರ್ಷ ಬಂಡೆ ತರ ಭದ್ರವಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ.
ನೀವಿಬ್ರು ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ.
ನಾವಿಬ್ರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀವಲ್ವಾ? ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಾವು ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ.
That is in the hands of High Command. Nobody can say here what is going in the High Command. This is left to the High Command. High Command has got power to take further actions, but unnecessarily one should not create problems.
My colleague Deepak Bopanna has been tracking all the key details for us and the insider details as well. He joins us live at the moment. Deepak, we've heard MLA Iqbal Hussain saying that at least 100 MLAs are there supporting Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivakumar. I'm told you've had a word with Iqbal Hussain. What do we know so far?
Well, it seems like it's out in the open now that, the chorus is just growing, that the change should happen. They're saying it's the need of the hour. I spoke to Mr. Hussain, who's been repeatedly making statements in favor of this change in the next couple of months, wants DK Shivakumar to take over the reins from Mr. Siddaramaiah, and importantly says it's needed if the Congress should retain power in 2028. And more importantly says the position that the KPCC was in when Mr. DK Shivakumar took over to the position that it is in now, it's only because of his tireless efforts. He should be rewarded. So a lot being said by Iqbal Hussain. Very interesting at a time when Mr. Surjewala is in Bengaluru. At a time over the last week we've had multiple statements from Mr. Hussain himself, from Yatindra Siddaramaiah, from other legislators across the state, that there could be a tectonic political shift in the state of Karnataka. While amidst all of these statements, the chorus is only getting louder. The High Command in the past has said, well, don't make these sort of statements in public. Whatever change is going to be done is going to be done at the behest and after the High Command decides to. Yesterday, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, who himself is the AICC president, says the decision is left to the High Command. So who's the High Command he's referring to? Does he refer to himself along with a bunch of others, or is he referring to the Gandhi family? Because, when the government was formed in 2023, one thing was very clear, that both were deserving, DK Shivakumar and Mr. Siddaramaiah. At that point in time, the High Command decided that they'll go with Siddaramaiah. There was a talk that it is going to be a power-sharing formula. Is it now the time to honor that power-sharing formula? Will Mr. Siddaramaiah relinquish? Is he in a position to do that? Will Mr. DK Shivakumar continue to build pressure? Is this pressure-building tactic? So many question marks at this point in time. But one thing becoming amply clear, that there is something that is brewing in the state of Karnataka in the next couple of months. Definitely, we are going to see some or the other political development.
Right, Deepak, thanks so much for joining us with that lowdown. But have we picked up any signs of a quiet leadership test during Randeep Surjewala's one-on-ones?
Well, what I'm sensing here is that while, yes, as of now, the MLAs are predominantly being asked questions about their constituencies, the problems that they're facing, implementation of guarantees and so on, there is subtly, an attempt to gather the mood of the MLAs on the ground. That information will be taken to the High Command, after which, of course, the High Command will really look at how to really go about this. Because at the end of the day, if this transition is smooth, it's fine. If it is not, it is, of course, going to become a big headache if the High Command actually decides that they're going to go ahead with the transition. All of this, of course, have a lot of ifs and buts. But with the kind of pressure building that's happening, it definitely seems like now the pressure is on the High Command to decide. And when they make this decision, if they do not keep the interests of either of these leaders in mind, what it could do is dent the prospects of their own party. So that is the biggest concern here.
Right, Deepak, do stay on with us as I rope in our colleague Aishvarya Jain as well. Aishvarya, what's the mood meanwhile in the Congress grassroots? Is this churn being seen as damage control or something bigger?
Well, what we are picking up from the national capital, the Congress High Command is in touch with Randeep Surjewala, who's been sent to Karnataka, and he will be taking the opinions of the MLAs in several rounds of meetings that are taking place back in Bengaluru. And after Mallikarjun Kharge, Congress president, went on to say that the decision lies in the hands of High Command. Certainly, the formula that was opted in May 2023 when Congress government came into the power, that there could be a power sharing between DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah. It's 2.5 years of the government that is on a completion mode, and now the chorus is growing. Of course, yes, there has been a dissent in the views of some of the MLAs in Karnataka. They want DK Shivakumar to be in the power, but the High Command over here, the sources clearly stating within the Congress party that the High Command do not want any such false speculations or the government over there to lift. Of course, we have seen the statements from both DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah. Yesterday he stated that we are stronger together and this government will go on for 5 years. But when these voices will be raised within the party, within the Congress MLAs, then certainly the government over there, or the sentiments of people and also the belief in the government will fall down of all those MLAs who have been supporting. So the Congress High Command clearly wants these things to be settled once for all, and to give a loud and clear message. Probably there could be a press conference later in the day with DK Shivakumar and Surjewala. There are talks that are going on. Communication channels are directly open between the Congress High Command and Randeep Surjewala, and the communication is being all the messages are being communicated to the leadership over there in Karnataka as well. Things will be slowing down in a day or two is what the sources in the Congress party has been saying, because the High Command will take its decision very soon and will be informing to the Congress leadership over there.
Aishwarya, thanks so much for joining us with the latest as far as the power corridors in Delhi are concerned. Let's just revert to Deepak Bopanna, who's still with us live from Bengaluru. Deepak, are MLAs privately voicing support for Siddaramaiah or Shivakumar? Is there a regional divide? What are the latest details you can disclose?
This is, something that has been on the cards, because when you have a talk that there's going to be a power sharing formula, the power sharing formula was supposed to kick in after 2.5 years. We are nearing that date, and that's why we are looking at a lot of voices. On one hand, you have the faction supporting Mr. DK Shivakumar saying, well, the change has to happen now. Then you have a faction supporting Mr. Siddaramaiah saying that, well, there is no discussion. The High Command has never spoken about a change, and he is going to continue for the next 5 years. This assertion came from Mr. Siddaramaiah's son himself, Mr. Yatindra. And more importantly, we've even seen a lot of other voices as well in the support of Siddaramaiah coming to the fore in the last couple of days. So at the end of the day, now it's of course up to the High Command whether they'll quell these voices, whether they'll make a decision. If they do make a decision, how are they going to do it to ensure there's a smooth transition? Is there going to be a transition? A lot of question marks for the Congress High Command to answer. Predominantly, this is an issue that they faced in other states as well. The High Command has not been known to handle things too well when it comes to this. Whether they'll be able to handle it well in Karnataka will define how the prospects of the party will be in the next election. Mr. Iqbal Hussain, while he spoke to me a little while earlier, mentioned this, that it is important that DK Shivakumar is given charge because that's important for the hopes of the party in 2028. Now, so he's putting out a clear message there to the High Command that, well, if the party needs to come back, Mr. DK Shivakumar needs to come as the Chief Minister. So for the High Command right now, the biggest test is how they're going to handle this entire situation. Whether they make the transition or not to handle this very well is important, because the BJP is sitting out there and looking at all of this happen, and they're waiting for a window of opportunity.
Deepak, as always, thank you so much for joining us with the lowdown. We will, of course, just play that entire conversation that you had with MLA Iqbal Hussain in just a short while from now. But at the moment, we have with us spokesperson of the Congress, Deepak Thimaya, spokesperson of the BJP in Karnataka, Prashanth GS. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Beginning with the Congress. Mr. Thimaya, if there is no leadership change planned, why is Randeep Surjewala holding one-on-one interviews with every MLA and MLC? Are you still confident about what's happening as far as Karnataka is concerned?
See, Mr. Surjewala holding these meetings has nothing to do with the change in leadership or any such kind of speculation that the BJP is indulging in, because I think the BJP should be looking at its own house and repairing it. Because I think there's a very, very serious situation there, and they could just, engage themselves in that. And Congress is quite capable of, taking care of its own house and its affairs. And if Mr. Surjewala has come down to Bangalore, and if he is taking care of the concerns and also addressing the issues, which certainly happens in a state and a government like the Congress, because you have internal democracy too, and people have the right to question and also express their concern and any kind of even if it's called complaints, and that is only to make things better. And if at all Mr. Surjewala's effort is to make the government function better, even though it is functioning well, nobody should be worried so much about it unless people don't want the government to do well, and perhaps the opposition is just waiting that to see that the government doesn't do well, and there are problems within the government, and there's fight about the change in leadership and all that, and all these things are just wishful thinking by the opposition, and there is no problem like that at all within the party. And I think this is a welcome move that Mr. Surjewala, after many days, is coming and spending time and speaking to the MLAs, and I think that's perfectly good, nice and acceptable, right?
Right. Let's also get in a word from Prashanth GS, who's representing the BJP at the moment. Do you see the Congress power tussle as an opportunity for the BJP, with reports of the Congress distracted internally? Is your party actually planning a renewed push to reclaim lost ground post-Lok Sabha?
Not get down to think what BJP is not interested in the internal tussle, but insofar as the people of Karnataka are concerned, the government has taken a backseat. There is no law and order, and corruption probably is at its peak. Because Mr. B.R. Patil, who accused the government of corruption, after meeting Surjewala yesterday, has given a statement to the media that he has given all the evidence to Surjewala, which means the evidence of corruption has been handed over to Surjewala, and now it is up to the Congress team to make the allegations public to ensure that the guilty are brought to book, which I'm sure they will not do. The second aspect, it is highly incorrect to use the term high command in Congress, because you should use the term Gandhi family, because the Congress President, Mr. Kharge, has also stated that he is not part of the high command, and the high command means it's only the Gandhi family, which means the Gandhi family will decide as to who will rule, according to them, Karnataka, and not govern. This power tussle has been going on for the last 24 months, and it's nothing new. Congress MLA Mr. Hussain says that Shivakumar has the backing of 100 MLAs. Is he giving a subtle hint that 100 MLAs will support Shivakumar? Therefore, if Shivakumar is not made the CM, what will happen? It's for the Congress legislators to decide what they want to do. All that BJP is looking forward is, when the people have given a mandate of 135 seats, they have to give good governance to the people and not root the people of Karnataka. Defeat the Gandhi family. This should not happen.
Right.
People of Karnataka will never forgive Congress if it rules again.
Whether the Congress High Command is still confident of a full 5-year term under Siddaramaiah, that remains to be seen. But gentlemen, thank you so much for making time for us and joining us with your views on NDTV. In fact, Iqbal Hussain has spoken to my colleague Deepak Bopanna. He says there's a need for change to retain power. The dissenting MLA has also said he will speak to Randeep Surjewala about the current circumstances, adding that Chief Minister change is a big possibility. He's in fact said this is needed in the interest of the party, claiming that nearly 100 people stand with DK Shivakumar. Listen in to what Mr. Hussain told us.
इकबाल जी नमस्कार, मैं दीपक बोल रहा हूँ एनडीटीवी से।
बोलिए साहब दीपक जी।
आपका एक ऑफिशियल रिएक्शन चाहिए था मुझे। ये जो आप स्टेटमेंट्स कर रहे हैं बार बार कि इस टर्म में ही डीके शिवकुमार को चीफ मिनिस्टर बनना है क्योंकि उन्होंने बहुत काम किया है केपीसीसी के लिए, ये आप आज भी आपने कहा है, आज आप जब सुरजेवाला जी से मिलने वाले हैं, क्या ये आप उनसे ये बातचीत भी करेंगे?
वही बोलने का है ना सर, उसके लिए जा रहा ना सर।
Okay. What are these things, sir, that you want to discuss seriously?
Sir, regarding this political, issues we have to talk now, sir.
Okay. So
not for the development of our constituency, other things, sir. Other than that, other issues are there. Regarding that, we wanted to talk to him directly, sir. What is there? See, if at all, if you want, if you are aiming to get again power in 2028, certain precautions you have to take at this time. This is the right time for you to take some preliminary precautions. Otherwise, no.
Okay.
Otherwise, no, sir. So certain things we have to.
So you're saying this is necessary for the Congress to come back in the next term?
200%. 200%. If at all, if you want power, if you want our government to be in power in 2028, sir, it should be a change. There should be a change.
For further clarity, let's also get in my colleague Prashanth, who joins us live at the moment. Prashanth, is there any visible shift as far as loyalty or momentum is concerned among Congress MLAs during Randeep Surjewala's visit, especially from neutral or swing legislators?
Well, you see, you would recall that when the Congress party formed the government in 2023, October, November, it was said at that time that there is an unwritten understanding between the two factions of the Congress party that after completing half the term, that is, after completing 2.5 years in the office, Mr. Siddaramaiah will pave the way for DK Shivakumar to, take the charge of chief ministership in the state. So it's an unwritten understanding that was agreed upon during the formation of the Congress government in 2023. Since then, it has always been the case, and the loyalist MLAs to DK Shivakumar, they have been raising this issue that now the time has come that DK Shivakumar should be made the chief minister. So far as Delhi High Command and the top leadership of the Congress is concerned, I have been told that after consulting and after talking to all the legislators in Bengaluru, Randeep Surjewala will come back to Delhi and he is likely to submit a report to the High Command stating what is the fact on the ground. And after seeing that report and after studying the report, High Command, that is the central leadership of the Congress party, is likely to take a call. But there is a feeling in the central leadership also that this is going to be inevitable. This will become inevitable given the fact that more and more MLAs are coming in support of DK Shivakumar. But right now, Congress leadership is in a wait and watch policy, and they'll wait for Randeep Surjewala to submit a report, and they might take a call in the months to come.
Right, Prashanth, just before I let you go, on ground, is governance fatigue starting to show?
Well, once again, you would recall Congress came to power on back of many promises, including action against corruption. You would recall that they blamed BJP for what they called 40% commission government. And on back of it, and on back of those promises, Congress came to power. And since then, there is a feeling within the Karnataka Congress also, and many legislators also, that Congress has failed to deliver on its promises, on many of the promises, especially on corruption. So this has been the viewpoint of many of the legislators. And yes, there is a fatigue factor with Siddaramaiah, and that's why more and more legislators you are seeing, they are coming support of DK Shivakumar. So I have a feeling that someday or the other in the near future, the Congress leadership will have to take a call whether to continue with Siddaramaiah or change the guard in Karnataka.
All right. As always, Prashanth, thank you so much for joining us with the latest and also breaking down the details for us and contextualizing the political history too. For further clarity, at the moment, we also have with us senior journalist B.S. Arun, who's the former associate editor of the Deccan Herald. Sir, thank you so much for making time for us. With everything that's playing out in Karnataka, does the Congress turmoil in the state validate BJP's criticism that the party is run by factions and not vision? What's your take?
Well, notwithstanding what BJP is saying, because BJP itself is mired in a lot of problems, but then Karnataka Congress is certainly facing many problems. You know, it started from the day Siddaramaiah took over more than 2 years ago. And since then, you know, we have been seeing one way or the other, the MLAs who are in favor of him speaking for him, for his continuance, and those who are favoring Siddaramaiah, you know, seeking a replacement. So, and in the last couple of months, you know, it has sort of intensified. We have seen, and the Congress High Command is giving time and again that it is in favor of a change. The latest being yesterday, Mallikarjun Kharge saying that the High Command will decide. He would have said that there will be no change or that there will be a replacement come October. But then Kharge chose to say that the High Command will take a call. You know, if you see the...
Does the Kharge statement reflect deliberate ambiguity to buy time or test waters for a future reshuffle?
See, testing waters, yes, that's what Congress has been doing also. If you take the developments in the last couple of months, you know, it started with the Dalit MLAs in favor of Siddaramaiah trying to hold a meeting, but DK Shivakumar went to Delhi and put a full stop to that. And second was a convention to celebrate the 2 years of Siddaramaiah government. Even for that, you know, Shivakumar put a full stop. Then came the Bangalore stampede. And in that stampede, the Chief Minister's political secretary was sacked on the directions of the High Command.
Yes.
Then came the caste census. The cabinet was not allowed to discuss, and a new survey has been ordered in Karnataka. So there are so many things. The latest being, you know, several of the MLAs, B.R. Patil, Raju Kage, and a couple of others, Belur Gopal Krishna, and Minister Rajanda saying that there will be a revolution in the Congress come September, October. So these statements go to show that Congress High Command's inclination is towards a change. And Shivakumar has made no bones about such a change and demanding the chief ministership after 2.5 years of Siddaramaiah's rule. So all these things point towards a change in Karnataka. But how the High Command will handle the situation, that's an important factor. Indeed. And, you know, it all depends on how the Congress High Command proceeds in this very ticklish issue.
Indeed. Sir, on that note, would you say that the Congress's Karnataka model. So let's take in the guarantees, the social coalition, as well as the dual leadership. Would you argue that it's showing signs of early fatigue?
Fatigue, in some sense, yes, because so many decisions, which should have been taken have not been taken. There is a, there is a feeling that the guarantee scheme is, sort of taking away the funds meant for other, developmental works, welfare measures. There were a couple of scams, including the ST Corporation fund scam. So like these, and the PR Patil saying that there is a bribery and corruption in the allotment of housing under the housing scheme. And it is run by one of the very trusted loyalists of Siddaramaiah by name Zamir Ahmad Khan.
Right.
So all these things to show that, there is a fatigue factor, and Siddaramaiah's government is not as effective as Siddaramaiah was in his first term from 2013 to 2018. This government over the last two years, is sort of facing internal issues quite often. And maybe, there's a feeling that Siddaramaiah's hands are tied. And also there's a feeling that, others are having a free run. The ministers are not listening to the Chief Minister. So, and there are two power centers, Siddaramaiah and Shivakumar. So there are these things acting, and the governance, it's been telling on the performance of the state government.
Sir, thank you so much for joining us with your views. We really appreciate your time. We'll keep a close eye on the key developments with you going forward. Is the ongoing exercise about real feedback as far as Karnataka is concerned? Or is it a loyalty audit disguised as consultation? That remains to be seen. I'm told Prashanth is back with us at the moment. Prashanth, just picking up on that, this exercise by Randeep Surjewala, is it being seen as damage control or groundwork for a calculated shift in the power equation in Karnataka? What are we picking up on?
What is quite clear, the resentment within the legislators and MLAs is growing in favor of DK Shivakumar. At least the loyalists, MLA loyal to DK Shivakumar have been raising this issue that he should now be given the charge of chief ministership in the state. So that is quite certain. Now, how long the Congress leadership at the center is going to take? Is it going to take a call on this? That remains to be seen. You see, I get a feeling, and what I have been told by my sources, that two things weighing on the mind of the Congress leadership at the center. First thing is that there are many people who feel that this is a pressure tactics by DK Shivakumar to ensure that at least he is allowed to continue as the KPCC president, Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee president, because he is the president right now, and because he is the chief minister, there is a pressure that he should quit the KPCC presidentship. Right. So this is a pressure tactics from DK Shivakumar just to ensure that he is allowed to remain the KPCC president. Secondly, which is very important, is that DK Shivakumar is facing corruption charges against himself also, and Congress leadership has to weigh this option whether to give him the charge, because the moment he is made the chief minister, there's all likelihood that again investigation will continue and Congress government in Karnataka will land in trouble. So these two issues are weighing on the minds of Congress leadership at the center. So as I said, Congress at the center is keeping a wait and watch policy on this issue, and they are waiting for Randeep Surjewala to submit a report after consulting all the legislators. So after Randeep Surjewala submits a report, they will take a call. But one thing is certain, that there is a growing resentment within at least the MLAs loyal to the DK Shivakumar, that he should be made the chief minister.
Right, Prashanth, as always, thank you so much for joining us with the insider details. As my colleague Prashanth is picking up on from his sources, this is being seen as a pressure tactic from DK Shivakumar just to ensure he's allowed to actually remain KPCC president. There are also looming corruption allegations, as Prashanth has highlighted.